so I'm using these paint pens. It said Elmer's on the back of it down here, but on the front it just says Painters. They're the medium tips. I've never done anything like this before, so this is my very first time. I know you're supposed to, you're supposed to shake it with the cap on, and I've shook it for several minutes, and then you're supposed to just depress the tip until the paint gets all the way through the pen. You're not supposed to just pump it, you're just supposed to press it down until the paint gets all the way, and then it's just, it's supposed to write. So I've just took a ruler and a pencil, and I've sketched out the design that I want to do. I didn't record this part, so here we are. I'm just going to go ahead and do the outline first, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then later I'll go back in, and I'm not sure if I'm going to fill it in or not. I tested this on just a piece of paper yesterday, and I don't really like the way that it looks on here, and I also had paint all down my arm and everything because I was just smearing like a big mess everywhere. So I'm gonna do just the outline first, and I'll go from there. Okay, now I'm just going to go back over the line and try to make it a little more opaque. Okay, I just went over it a second time, and honestly, I would recommend trying to make sure that your pen is saturated with paint and that you take your time the first time that you go over this, and that way maybe you won't have to go over it a second time, because as I was going over it the second time, some of the paint that I had done earlier started to chip off, and I'm sure that it's because it's on this glass plate, but so I should have just took my time and made sure it was saturated well the first time. Okay, there might be a little shadow on this part. I had to turn my overhead light on just so I could get a better view. So I apologize for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and write out the actual last name right here, and I've kind of took a pencil and I went very lightly over it. I'm sure it's not showing up, but maybe it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the name, and this is absolutely looks, I mean, handmade, because it is. I'm not trying to look like I cut a decal out and stuck it on there. I'm trying to make it look like it was handmade, obviously. Okay, and now on this one I'm going to show you how I just made the placements for where I'm going to want the fingerprints to go. This way I just guessed about how high up I wanted it to go. I didn't measure this part, and I just take and I just put a little line on either side. Best I could. And then I'm going to carefully measure, so that's about 4.5. So that'll leave me with about 2.25, being about the center. Ish. No, I'm not being too precise. It's okay if it's off a little. I just want it to be somewhat even. That way I have a better working, a better idea from like how many fingerprints. You know, 6 and 6. I'm gonna divide it up here. And then on this part I just eyeball it. I know I'm gonna want like one here and one here, and then I just do 3, and then there's gonna be one in the center. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. That's better. I just had them spaced out a little funny. Okay. And so all of these marks that you can't see, are where the fingerprints are going to go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the fingerprints right here around the edge.